Hi, Michelle here, Thrifting 101. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Glad you're stopping in. Had a wonderful time in Norfolk for Nora's 5th birthday, and now I'm back with the haul. Hope you enjoy. When I was at Lily Lace and Trinkets, I think I showed you a bunch of stuff in the last video there. It's a really nice store. I love the woman who works here. It's not a charitable thrift store, which is kind of fun because, as I had said before, I can make some deals here and she's really good about that. Anyways, I had picked up these mugs. I just fell in love with them. They are adorable. She's a cherub and this is a prayer boy. Actually, they are called prayer mugs. And you can see right here, actually you can't see right here, I knew it had a foil label on it, but they're so old, I had to actually come home with a magnifying glass to see that they said Lefton Exclusives Japan, which didn't surprise me. That's kind of what I thought. And I want to show you the inside. They're called prayer mugs. I'm not familiar with these, but they look more like planters to me. So I would actually use them as planters and not mugs. If anybody knows the difference, let me know. Anyway, they sell really well. They're kind of a hard item to find. I don't know what I paid, to tell you the truth, because she bundled everything for me. They were marked $10 for the set. I didn't pay that much. They're in really nice condition with the exception right here, which I didn't even notice. There's a tiny little scratch. I wouldn't even call it a crack, but a scratch right there. If that scratch wasn't there, I would probably be asking upwards of $50 for them, because that's what they are asking and selling for in that range. But because of that, I think I'm going to lower the price all the way down to about $30. They're 1950s, mid-century. I picked this up at the Salvation Army, but not the first time I was there. First time I was there, they had clear glassware was on sale. I think it was 75% off. I had $2 in my pocket. They don't take a credit card for anything under $5. Anyways, I got into line, originally marked $2.99, went up to pay. It wasn't part of the clearance glass, so to speak. So I put it back. I went back the next day or a day or two later, and Maddie, the store manager, pulled me over and said, here, she had given this to me and she gave it to me for that price. So thank you, Maddie. Anyways, enough talking about that. This is Fire King Sapphire Blue in the Philby pattern. It dates way back 1941 to 1956, and it's got a really great pattern, which is not on the inside, but on the outside. Very nice embossed pattern. Came in clear and pink, and maybe that's about it, I think. Anyway, I picked this up for my collection. I have a few pieces in the Philby Sapphire Blue, and this is going to go to my collection. They sell normally probably about $8. They're not expensive if you happen to like this pattern. And the Sapphire Blue also refers to the blue that they used, Fire King did, in their bubble pattern. This Philby pie plate is only 8 1/4 inch. They did make a larger 9-inch one. Picked up this Homer Laughlin 13 1/4 inch platter at the Goodwill. It had a half off tag in it. I think it was red. So I paid $2.50 for it. Right, that's upside down. It is a beautiful blue and white pattern. It is called Sheffield Imperial Blue Dresden. Sheffield's not on there, but that is its official name. It's known mostly, people just refer to it as Dresden. It's first produced in the early 1960s, and it was a special line of dinnerware in the Virginia rose shape. Homer Laughlin based all their china on different shapes, this being, as I said, the Virginia rose shape. Really nice condition, no chips, no cracks, good graphics. I'm going to be asking $12.50 for it. I picked up a set of 5 Macbeth Evans Petaware fruit plates. That's what they're called, fruit pattern plates. They're hand painted. I think I got them when I was with Shirley in the Cocoa thrift, or not thrift, but the antique mall. They're losing a little bit of the gold here, the gold rim on here, but I'm gonna lay them out for you. They're all hand painted and they're all beautiful. Oh, before I do that, let me turn it over one more time. It's really hard to see. If you try to get a look at what that says, it does say made in the USA. So we have our grapes here. You can see what great shape they're in. They are kind of dirty. I do need to clean them up. They're 8.5-inch salad plates. We have pears, peaches, cherries, and apples. I think it was a set of 6, so I'm not really sure which one I'm missing at the moment. Petaware was produced by Macbeth Evans in the 1930s to the very early 1950s. It was among the first tableware patterns released by Macbeth Evans, and first released only in crystal and pink, and then the Monix, which is what this is called. Monix is it's like their version of milk glass. They called it Monix. Was released after that. They had other painted items too. I've seen some really pretty ones with flowers. I've seen some in the red trim as opposed to what's left of the gold trim here. Anyways, I paid $1 a plate for them. I'm gonna ask, I think, $20 for them. I'm gonna clean them up a little bit. All the graphics are wonderful. Excuse me. Corning actually acquired Macbeth Evans in 1937, and they continued under the Macbeth Evans name after that. And they did continue making the petaware you see right here too, like I said, the very early 1950s. Petaware had one of the longest production runs during the Depression era. Pick this up at the Goodwill. I think I paid $3.99 for it. I always say when you see butter dishes, pick them up because they're good sellers. This right here is a very fancy butter dish. And I also picked it up because I like to pick up this pattern, and if you watch my videos, you've seen me pick them up in other colors before, so I could kind of explain the difference to people who don't know the difference. This is called a repro. This is produced by Indiana Glass Company, and the pattern is called Recollection. It's a crystal butter dish. It is a reproduction of the 1932 to 1935 Federal Glass pattern called Madrid. In 1976, Federal Glass Company changed the name to Recollection and reissued it in an amber color in honor of the bicentennial, and that piece said 1976 somewhere on there, so we know that this obviously isn't amber and does not say 1976. Federal Glass Company went bankrupt almost immediately after that, and Indiana Glass Company purchased the 1976 molds. A lot of people think that the reproductions are based on the original Federal molds from the 1930s, which is not true. They are 1976, and I'm going to tell you how to tell the difference right here from the Madrid original Depression era one and this one right here. And it's very simple. This has to do with the knob right here. I don't know if you can see it, but the lid is, or there's a line right here. It runs vertical, excuse me. On the older ones, they run horizontally. Very easy to tell. That's how you can tell right on here. Really nice condition. I think I'm going to ask $16 for it. I found these at Lily Lace and Trinkets. They were marked $5 each, and as I keep telling you, everything I bought there we kind of bundled up together, so I'm not really quite sure what I actually paid for them, but they are stunning, and they're hand painted. You can see the artist signature right there. It's either Mary Beth or Mary Kath. I'm not really sure which. There's nothing on the bottom giving me any kind of indication of who made them, but I did the bone china test, and I know they're bone china. Originally, I would have thought they were some kind of fancy footed mugs, but after I had found a while back, I think it was Johnson Brothers, a beautiful Victorian looking, I think they were 1930s wash basin set, which I had no idea what it was, and thank you to all who did help me by telling me what they were. I started thinking that maybe these are part of a wash basin or toiletry set from the 1930s also, or possibly a reproduction. I don't really think they're mugs. I don't know how you would use them as mugs. I'm thinking maybe a toothbrush holders First I thought maybe a shaving mug, but they usually have the inserts in there. Anyways, I'm going to try and sell them off as a set for $25. If anybody's interested in just purchasing one, I think $15. Found this at the Goodwill for $1.50. It's Princess House in the Fantasia pattern. It has its label on it, says made in Canada. It's a cookie jar without its lid, but for $1.50, I didn't want to leave it there. I thought anybody that collects Fantasia pattern might make a great utensil holder or, you know, a vase or whatever. I'm going to ask about $10 for it. It's 8.5-inch tall cookie jar, like I said, missing its lid. Fantasia has been in production by Princess House since 1965. Still going strong, I believe. Princess House was started in 1963 by Charlie Collis as a direct seller company. He saw it as a way to empower women, as mostly women were selling them, both financially and personally, in a culture that back then, you know, didn't leave a lot of options for entrepreneurship for women. It's headquartered in Taunton, Massachusetts. I love finding Inesco growing up birthday girls, and whenever they're affordable, I pick them up. I was really excited to find this many. I got them at the Merritt Island Goodwill. The small ones were 99 cents. The large ones were $1.99, and actually I was able to purchase the Sweet 16, the 16 one for $1.99, which is usually one of the better sellers. And when I got it home, I did notice that the hand was broken off in the car. I didn't buy it that way, but I didn't keep it safe in the car. And also I was excited because I had the number 5 birthday girl, and I'm trying to give Nora a collection or start her on a collection. So I immediately took the number 5 and I put it away so I wouldn't forget to pack it on my trip, and I can't find it anywhere. She's gonna be 5 for a whole year, so I'm not that worried about it. Anyways, I paid 99 cents for the small, $1.99 for the large. They're all 1981 except for number 4, she's 1982. All in great shape. I think I'm gonna try and sell them off as a lot and ask $25 for the set. These were marked $8 for the set at Lily Lace and Trinkets, and I just love them. They kind of reminded me, I don't know if you remember, I found these little barrel-shaped salt and pepper and I think mustard, a condiment jar, and these kind of reminded me of the pattern of it. So I picked them up, or anyways, I went to the desk and I put them with my pile, and we were oohing and eyeing over them. They don't really say anything on the bottom. I did some research. They are 1950s Japan. Nobody seems to know the companies that I've been able to find. They just called a wicker or a basket weave set. They made lots of other items in this pattern. I've seen the butter dish, a little creamer, lots of different items. So anyways, when I went to pay for them, I'm just checking them and said, oh, the sugar's in great shape. I pulled off the top right here and said, that should have a spoon attached to it, and it didn't. So I went to put it back, and she said, well, why don't you just take them both? Take them both. So I said, well, okay. So I took them both. I don't believe she even charged me anything for them. In good condition, they sell for at least $15 each. I'm going to ask $15 for the set and just kind of throw this one in and just get shipping for it. Picked up this beautiful Anchor Hocking forest green 86-ounce large. It's a large 86-ounce ice lip pitcher in Merritt Island with my wooden nickel. Kitchenware was on sale. I believe I was with Shirley that day. I only paid $1.50 for it. I happen to have a pitcher collection of Royal Ruby and forest green Anchor Hocking pitchers. I already have this one. This is in great shape. I'm going to list this one. I'm going to ask $26 for it. I think that's a fair price. I see them listed for way more than that. They're produced between 1950 and 1967, and forest green was the exclusive term patented by Anchor Hocking for anything made in this color. Anchor Hocking bubble pattern in the sapphire blue color. I've been finding a lot of pieces in the milk glass, but not in the sapphire blue. It's the same color, the sapphire blue, as the Philby pie plate over there. Anchor Hocking produced the bubble pattern between 1940 and 1965, bubble being one of Anchor Hocking's most collected patterns of the era. I did see a 1942 ad that stated you can put the blue, it was heat proof, from oven to table to fridge, and later on when they started producing it in the forest green and the ruby red, they no longer stated that. So I just want to let you know, if you have it in other colors, I do not think you should put it in the oven. I'm going to ask $8 for it. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed the haul tonight. And right before I went to Norfolk, I thought maybe I should do some stocking up. So I did a lot of thrifting because I had a feeling that when I came back from Norfolk, maybe the stores would be closed, and they are. Everything's changing rapidly around the world, around the country, where you live, where I live. But I do have enough to get a few videos up, and we're going to do that. Everybody stay safe. Don't worry, this too shall pass. And we're all kind of in it together, so don't forget to leave me a comment, drop me an email. Let me know how you're doing. Stay safe, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye.
I'm ready.
Go.
I don't think they're going to be like, oh, fix these 4 things today. Yeah. It'll be like, oh, I got one of them done.
To you, happy birthday.